Hey everyone, this is Evan at Stryd, and in this video, we're going to talk about Stryd's running stress balance. There are a couple things to keep in mind about Stryd's running stress balance. The first being that we rely on a valid, auto-calculated critical power. Having an accurate critical power gives us the best insight and information into your day-to-day running fitness. Second, we rely on that valid, auto-calculated critical power to give you your running stress score. Your running stress score is a measure of your overall duration and relative intensity compared to your critical power. This is why it's so important to have a valid and accurate auto-calculated critical power. With that running stress score in mind, we can start to look at the relationship of the balance between the stress that you're accumulating over different time periods. The main time periods we're going to look at are your 7-day or your short-term running stress versus your 42-day or long-term running stress. These are both weighted averages, and the relationship between them is called your running stress balance. As you add more running stress in a short, acute time frame, you'll have that balance go more negative versus your longer, chronic training load, which is also called your long-term running stress. With running stress balance, we can start to give you some more insights specifically about how you're balancing your training and how that trend is going. Let's talk a little bit about the specific zones that we have for Stryd's running stress balance. The first lowest zone is going to be the overreaching zone, and this is going to be between -45 and -40 running stress balance. In the overreaching zone, this is way too above what we advise for longer sustained training. It's okay to touch this for a very brief moment, but if you see this overreaching zone, it's probably a cue to back off a little bit and look at how your running stress is accumulating in that very short term. The next zone above the overreaching zone is the cautionary zone. The cautionary zone is between -40 and -25 running stress balance. It's okay to touch on this very briefly in short bursts, but we don't advise keeping a long sustained amount of training in the cautionary zone. The next zone is going to be the productive zone, and this is going to range from -25 running stress balance to -10 running stress balance. This is where we see a lot of people spend most of their time in a hard training block. This is where you're balancing the amount of recovery you're giving yourself versus the amount of stress that you're applying from your running. Above the productive zone is the maintenance zone, and this will range from -10 to +5. The maintenance zone is great for those transitions between hard training blocks before you have your hard goal efforts. It serves as a sort of buffer between that hard training that you have to recover from versus that area where you should be able to produce great running results. Talking about great running results, the next zone is the performance zone. The performance zone will range from +5 to +25. We see a lot of people have great success hitting the performance zone for their hard efforts and their hard PR attempts. Above +25 is what we call not applicable, and this is just when the relationship of your short-term running stress is not necessarily productive towards giving yourself a benefit of fitness. So now that we know a little bit more about running stress balance in the specific zones, where can you visualize it? Well, you can log on to stryd.com/powercenter and view your running stress balance over a longer period of time. You can also access your day-to-day running stress balance in the Stryd mobile app. Let's talk about a couple of use cases of running stress balance. My primary use case is being able to analyze how hard I'm ramping up my effort when I'm coming back to training, either from a little bit of an extended break due to injury or just the fact that I had a goal race and I took a little bit of time off to recover. I really like to keep an eye and make sure that I'm not adding my running stress too heavily in that short term. The cautionary zone is pretty much my limit of where I'll dip into, but I have a lot of success sticking in that productive zone. That wraps up this video. We hope you enjoyed our explanation of Stryd's running stress balance. Keep an eye out for more videos like this in the future, and we'll be back with another one shortly. Bye-bye.